Hello everyone, thank you for watching this video today. In this video, I'm going to talk about the interview question that is being asked by a technical panel for one of the user. The question is, how many subscriptions you have in your current project, how many resource groups you have in your current project, and what is the total server count in your project. So basically, based on this question, what I understand is they're trying to understand your current project. So how you can answer this question? Well, if you already have an experience and you have been working on Azure, and you'll be able to answer this question for sure because you know your Azure architecture very well. You know the total server count on premises and Azure, and you know the resource groups, and you know the subscription. Maybe you can simply say that, okay, I have around 2,000, 3,000 servers in our environment, and we have, you know, couple of resource groups and we have a couple of subscriptions. But what is the best way to answer this question, right? So you can always say that so we do have on-premise environment and which is managed by a different team. The environment is hosted on VMware, or if it is Hyper-V, you can say Hyper-V, and you can also say there are a couple of physical servers as well. And when it comes to the Azure, we have a good amount of servers hosted on the cloud, which is around 2,000 plus or 3,000 plus, which includes the dev test environment and also production environment, and which also includes the our foundation or core infrastructure as well. So, which means we have application servers, database servers with the different environments, and we have the core network components such as firewalls and virtual appliances, Active Directory components, many servers. So all of that together, you might have around 2,000 or 3,000 plus servers, or could be less also. There's no problem in saying the server count, right? And when it comes to the subscription, you can start explaining like we have a root management group. Under the root management group, we have created one management group for foundation resources where we have our core infrastructure and network devices are placed. So we call it as a foundation subscription and foundation components. And all foundation components related subscriptions are placed under the foundation management group, and we have one management group which we say dev test management group. We have all dev test subscriptions will be placed under the dev test management group, and we have one more called production management group. So that is where we will have our customers production environment subscriptions are placed. So it's all depends. Sometimes we migrate the existing customers from on-premises to Azure, and for them, we don't create any subscription. We try to migrate them to the existing production subscription. Or sometimes, if we got a new customer where we're trying to migrate their infrastructure to the cloud, we buy a new subscription and we set up the infrastructure for them. So eventually, all this dev subscription, test subscription, and new production subscription for each customer are going to talk to the foundation subscription. That is where all the network appliances and firewall devices or core infrastructure will be hosted. So this is how we have the current setup. If you ask me the total number of subscriptions, I would say we have around 20 plus or 30 plus. Not all subscriptions I have access, only a couple of them I have access. And I have limited access to, I'm not the owner for all the subscriptions or a contributor for all the subscription. So we try to do more work with the less privileges. So we use custom role-based access control, and we apply the permissions or roles in a management group level. So example, for the production, not everybody will have access to the production subscription and its resources. Only the senior resources like me will have access to the production subscription. Even there as well, I have a custom RBAC permissions assigned, where I'm going to perform certain operations only. And for dev test, I have a contributor, and for the foundation subscription, I do have a custom RBAC created. So it's all depends on the subscription and my what role I'm going to play. So depends on those criteria. So my permissions are defined and I'm going to get access to it. So we are trying to onboard new services into our environment. So we are trying to buy a new subscriptions and do some more testing. So we have a development team. They do a lot of testing. So they have given a dev test subscription. So this is how our environment is looking. So currently the overall footprint, I would say 2000 to 3000 servers, which is a combination of Windows and Linux servers environment. And we do have a couple of PaaS services hosted on these subscriptions as well. So this is all you can explain when you really have some experience into it, right? You'll be able to answer this question, and when you explain this, the technical panel will definitely have more confidence and more trust on you, because you know the entire footprint on Azure, right? So you'll be able to give an opportunity for you. So to reach to this level, you need a lot of practice. You need a lot of hands-on experience. So then only you'll be able to explain. Just practicing day-to-day sessions may not be able to help. You need to understand the use cases and think of it and try to implement it. You'll be able to answer this question by yourself. And if I think about this, right, who can answer these questions? As I said, if you have experience, you'll be able to explain. But sometimes I've seen people, if I ask them to implement a large infrastructure, they take a day or two, but they will be able to implement it, but they fail to explain. So they have 4 years of experience in Azure, 5 years of experience in Azure, but they fail to explain their architecture to the people. So that is where, they might fail in answering this question. So you need to work on explaining or projecting yourself or your skills to others, then you'll be able to answer this question. And sometimes, this technology, the subscriptions, VNets, how they communicate, the foundation services, the landing zone, how migration can happen, but you haven't worked on it because you have a limited access. As I say just now, you have access to only few subscriptions and with the limited permissions. You may not have got a full rights to implement it, right? That is another scenario where you may fail to explain this to your, interviewer technical panel. So that's why I think, these videos will help you do more practice and try to understand, discuss this, go to the technical forums, see what kind of discussions are happening, try to participate in that, and then you will be able to, explain these things to your technical panel. You'll be able to get your job. And if you have any further questions, please do comment or please reach out to me on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp. So I'll be able to guide you to the right direction. Thanks everybody once again for watching this video. See you on the next video. Bye for now.